Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am here today with another video. This particular video is going to be my budget by paycheck, but I need to kind of get the month set up first. So I can always put a timestamp below when I do get into creating my budget. But for those of you that are interested, that love planners and love watching people set up, I figured I could include this part. My previous video that I put out is me kind of walking through my 2025 planners and doing just a bit of a setup. But I now need to kind of set up for the month, I guess. I have a bundle available on my Etsy shop. I printed it out here, but I have this budget by paycheck linked in the description below. I tweaked it a little bit, but this is what I've been using in 2024. I finally put it out there if you were interested. And I did include these in it. I already cut them down and I did a terrible job of cutting them, so I'm not going to laminate these, and also I messed up with the printing of them, so this is a bad example to show you. I just should have changed my printer setting. It just came out a little odd, but I will be needing this in this video. So let's start by punching holes in here. Okay, now I did not write when all of my bills are due, so let's pull this sheet out and go to January. Okay, so there's things that already happened. As I'm filming this, it is, I want to say, the 8th. Let's see. Okay, so with the way that my pay was in December, it covered the very end of December and then went into January. Sorry. I have brain fog today. So I'm going to write down the remainder of my bills here. That's kind of like what I paid up to, but I'm going to set this all up so I can kind of figure out based on my pay cycle what all I need to include in my budget. So bear with me. Okay, now that I have that written out, I know that in the month of January, I get paid. Oh, I have a calendar in front of me. So today's the 8th when I'm filming. So these are my pay days. So I like to highlight it, which I shouldn't have highlighted the numbers because of the earthy tones that they used. For the font, it is actually hard to see the numbers, but that's okay. And then I like to write down here so I can track it throughout the year. I like to write down how much I am paid after deductions. So I have all my medical bills. I changed my medical insurance, so I have a lot more deducted. I have my 401k. I have, what else? My renter's insurance also that comes out of my payroll deductions. Okay, so now that I have the month set up, I do want to highlight this one as a reminder that this is a business expense, the Canva. I have the monthly Canva that comes out, so I like to have my business pay for that, but I do like to write it down and track it. Now I have a lot of debt snowball written down, but the goal is to pay well above what that debt snowball would be. Maybe in the future I'll track it on the month to month, but not this time around. So now we can get into the budget. Okay, I'm going to pull out some things that I'll need. Let's pull this out. Okay, so hopefully everything is in frame. So first and foremost, let's write down the date range. So it's going to be the 9th through the 22nd. I don't know what it is with my pens today. They're being crazy. So we'll do paycheck number 1, which is what I wrote down here. And this is bi-weekly. This is single income. The only thing is that there are some expenses that are shared, like utilities, rent, that sort of thing. But otherwise, this is just single income, only what's coming to my account. So, oh, and I want to write down too, so renters insurance. So it is already in my payroll deduction, but it's Joe's turn to pay. We like to alternate, so I'm going to include income from him in that regard. Okay, so the total is $1,277.52. Now what I like to do is check the bills that come up in this particular pay cycle. So we have cell phone, that is around $110. It is $28.61. And then nothing up until student loans. Which is on the 15th, and that one is $205, not including Canva. That's going to come out of business. We have gym on the 17th, which is $10. Then Comcast. Oh, I forgot to ask Joe what the dollar amount is. I wrote down that it's about $44 for my portion. I do have a little bit of money in my buffer, but because I don't know the exact amount, and this is for the internet, I'm just going to say $45 for this. I always ask before I film, and I completely forgot. So we'll just round up and say 45. And then nothing up until my loan, which is on the 22nd. And so what I like to do is leave only a $50 buffer, though it's been slightly higher than that. And then all of this money here is money that I leave in my account to cover the expenses. So typically when I get paid is that first night I'll send out all of my payments except this loan. This one auto pulls on its own, but everything else I'll start to pay. And I wrote some reminders up here. So Kohl's, if you watched previous videos, I opened a card. It was a crazy deal from the holidays. So $43.97 is the balance on it to pay it off in full. I know, I'm going to need to write this down moving forward. No, actually that's not true, because I won't have minimums to pay on it, and I don't purchase things often ever at Kohl's. It was an anomaly, like just one of those rare periods. I needed a new winter jacket. It was $200. I had a coupon for doing a return, Amazon return, and then a really good offer to open up the credit card, and it made it go down to $60 for the jacket plus Kohl's cash at the time, which was $15. So it was a crazy good deal. Then I purchased a few other things with it, whatever. So that is why I have a balance on that. Gas, I have been leaving the money in my account to cover gas, so that is $20. So mark that off and that off. And then I have a note here, graduation. So that is where this savings challenge comes into play. I don't need to write it in this section. So let me tally this up first and see how much money we have left to work with. Okay, so all of the bills, when you add up, equals 600, or well, bills, what I'm leaving in my account is $690.74. I've now added this section on my budget by paycheck of total remaining. So I'm going to take my income, subtracting my bills to see what I have left, which I'll just do minus my income 1277.52. So I have $586.78. So I usually like to work with the whole number here. The 78 cents I just leave in my buffer. We are going to play When Life Gives You Lemons Knockout. This is an A5 size in my Etsy shop. I've wanted to play this for a really long time and haven't. So basically you roll 2 die, and it doesn't matter if you start at the top or the left at the top, like to figure out where you have to knock out. You save the amount that you reveal, and then if you already rolled something that's scratched out, what did I say? Oh, I have a note here to save any amount of your choosing. And then once you're down to your last lemon, scratch it and double the amount on the lemon. Reveal a little bomb, and then you save 30 instantly. If that is your last lemon, you must double it. Numbers are between $1 and $15. You can save 240 plus. It just depends. So, I mean, you don't have to play it that way. Like if you roll your die and you've revealed something previous, like you don't have to save any extra. It's just a way to just save as much as you can, but you don't have to play it that way. So this challenge I'm going to use to save up for my soon-to-be nephew. He graduates college in June, and I want to start saving up because he lives in Oregon. So 5 and 1, and this is what I mean. You can do 5 and 1, or you can do 5 and 1. So it doesn't matter which one you scratch. But I want to get a Post-it. Oh no, this is going to be on my budget. Duh, silly girl. Let's see. Let's do this one. Oh yeah, definitely rolling again. So we have $2 so far. So 5 and 5. So 5 and 5. Okay, so we saved a 1. I'm getting really low numbers. So a 2 and a 4. So 2 and 4. Wait, 2 and 4. Or you can do 2 and 4. Doesn't matter. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. So that's plus 11. So $14 total. So I haven't decided. Now I'm going to need to figure out denomination, so I might just put it over here because I have this extra debt and savings. But that's in a way like for money you can leave in your account to cover paying that if you want, or to move money. So I think I'm going to put it up here because I am going to pull the cash out for this. So I'll write it here. So graduation, which I think I'm going to use my special occasions envelope for this, but I'm just going to write 14 here. Okay, so we're going to aim to do 250 plus in debt. So let's just take a little look here. So 586 minus 250 equals, so we have 336 left, minus 14, just so we can kind of keep an eye on things. So 322. So groceries, is 140. So 182 left. Fun. I like to keep $30 in my wallet for fun, and that is coffee, takeout. Okay. Then let's see here. So I already accounted for the 14. Let's do household. We'll say 20 into household. Sam's Club is 30. So 30 and 20 is minus 50. Okay, so we have $102 left. So let's say Teddy or kitties is, we'll put 10 in that. So minus 10. And then we'll just to get rid of the $2, we'll say Teddy 911 is, we'll say 12. I've been using the Teddy 911 envelope for vet emergencies or dental. From my understanding, because of her dental disease, she probably needs annual cleanings. So I don't know. I've been kind of putting the money in that category with the intention of using it for dental. But if an emergency pops up, obviously the money's there to use. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm working that. So minus 12. So we have 80 left. I should probably start putting money away to my hair. Okay, because I want to put money to debt, I'm going to divvy out the last $80 and I'm going to do, divvy out. Sorry. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to stick with playing around with $30 of the 80 so that I have 50 left. So I think what I'll do is it really going to hurt me to skip it once? I really need to start saying, you know what? We're going to skip it once. So we are going to budget for hair. It takes $150 for color, cut, eyebrow waxing, and tip. $150 even. So I'm going to put $30 into here. So minus 30, which means that we should have 50 left. So I was doing mental math over here to say extra debt. And we'll see if the numbers work out. So 300. So total 300. So I have a section up here of total remaining, which is different. I added that. So 586 minus 300. So 286. So I should have $286 worth of sinking funds if I didn't mess this up. We'll find out. So 140. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right. Now we are just going to make sure that everything matches up to be a zero-based budget, and it should. Okay, so if I add up all of these sections, granted, because of rounding and whatnot with change, it might be slightly off, but it should be around this number because I have some of the change going to my buffer. Perfect. So $1,276.74. Awesome. Now, probably if I add the 78 cents, that probably brings me to this total. So let's see, plus 0.78. Yep, that's exactly it. So that's perfect. Everything looks good. Oh, gosh, like I always feel like I'm missing something, that I should have put money to something, but I'm being so stringent on my budget that I'm not thinking of it. But whatever, this is what it is. So groceries, I like to do 250s, and then in case I need change, I like to do a 20, a 10, a 5, and 5 ones. So let's see, 50, 20, 30, 35, 40, yep. And then fun, I like to break this up as well. So we'll say 2 10s, a 5, and 5 ones. That should equal 30, right? So 25, yep. And then graduation. Okay, now I'm going to count up all the tallies here. And now I'm going to count up everything to make sure it matches up. So 250s is 100, 420s is 80. Ugh, my pen is like skipping ink. It's frustrating. Then we have 8, 10. Wait, really? It's 4. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then I like how that worked out. See, it looks, I'm reading that wrong because of the ink. So then 10, we have 8 10s, so that's another 80. Wow, I'm not putting a lot into sinking funds at all. So then we have 2 5s, so that's 10, and then we have 16 ones, which is 16. So all of this should equal 286. So let's just double check. Perfect, 286. And now what we will do is grab one of these and write the information here. So we have 2 50s, so that is 100. So we have 4 20s, which is 80. Then we have 8 10s, which is 80. Then we have 2 5s, which is 10. And we have 16 ones, which is 16, which totals $286. Okay, and that is how I do my bi-weekly zero-based budget. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please go ahead, leave a like, leave a comment as well. Leave me a pink heart emoji if you've made it to this point in the video. And I hope you have a great night. Bye.